Welcome to Beyond the Chutes. It's presented by ParaSight Systems. I'm your host, Doug Simcox, and I hope that you're having a great day and staying safe. Today, Sam, my co-host, and I are recording in Brevard, New York. BTC is on the road, still on the road, Sam. We put it on the road on Monday, I guess it was. Took about a 9-hour trip to get up here to the Rawhide Ranch, and great to be in the BTC Studios North on this Thursday morning, Sam.
Welcome, Doug. It's been a pleasure having you here. Been enjoyable. Ground's a little white out, and I'm sure it's not that way in Kentucky, but welcome to Western New York.
Absolutely. We've got about, I'd say, 3/4 of an inch of snow on the ground here. Everything is covered. It's very pretty. If you like snow, Sam, it's very pretty. And the good news is the wind isn't blowing, and
Correct.
it doesn't appear that there's a bunch of snow coming. So
No, it's pretty as long as you're looking out at it. And it's wintertime here. It could be 3 feet, so we'll take it and just move on.
yeah. It's been a while since we caught up with the folks. Been a lot going on. And this morning, it's Thursday morning. This morning, we were going to do the preview of the NFR that's going on, that's starting out in Vegas. We are going to do that, but with the news last night, Sam, or this morning as it broke, that the first round has been pushed back due to the shooting on the UNLV campus yesterday.
Yeah, I got up about 4 this morning and watched the news like my normal situation does. And I'm sitting there, and they brought up the shooting on the campus. And I said, oh, my goodness, what are they going to do with the NFR? Is it going to affect it? And I see that it wasn't near there, but I guess it did affect it. I didn't hear that on the news, but you filled me in this morning that it got pushed back. So.
And our thoughts and prayers are with the victims out there, of course, and the families. And
so sad. So sad.
Yeah.
You just, here's kids going to school and they get their life taken by someone that is upset. The mental aspect of this country. Yeah. They can say what they want. Kids need to be brought up in a good, strong household.
That's exactly right.
It's sad.
It's sad. Absolutely. Well, today we are going to do a little catch-up, and we're going to do a preview of the NFR. But so far, we believe it's going to kick off tomorrow night, Friday night, I should say. So one of the things when I got here, Sam started talking to me about was the ProFantasy Rodeo and the team picks and that sort of thing. And as you know, Sam and I love the NFR. It's 10 great days of top competition. And if there's what we've learned from the PBR teams is that as we connect with some of these riders, it just enhances the whole enjoyment of the program. So nothing like having somebody that we're going to cheer for in all of the events that we're going to be watching, and that is how this is set up. So we looked at Pro Fantasy Rodeo. It's ProFantasyRodeo.com. And as we started to set up our team, Sam and I agreed we're going to set up a team for the BTC podcast. And as we're setting up the team, I had questions. So I thought, well, there's an 877 number, I believe it is. I'll get that for you here in just a bit. There's a number that you can call to get set up. And so in a bit, I'm going to play a recording. We were able to get Gail Jones on, and she stepped us through. She's actually one of the owners of ProFantasyRodeo.com, and we're gonna work with her on that. You'll get a sense of how to go about this, so it looks good. But first, Sam, I wanted to talk about ParaSight Systems, our sponsor, of course, been with us through the whole program, and what's cool is they've got these test kits, and of course, this is to determine the eggs that your horse is passing. So we're talking about worms. Nothing. No soft way to say this, right? The parasites that our horses have. And so we're talking about worms, and they've got a device that they're able to take a fecal sample and they're able to determine from that the eggs per gram. And that's the measure that they're looking for. Number one, they want to know what kind of worm the horse might be carrying. And my daughter has 5 horses, so we put this through the test. And of the 5 horses that she tested, there was one that had less than 200 eggs per gram, had something like 28 eggs per gram. And Sam, what I'm understanding, the way that ParaSight Systems is describing this to us, is anything under 200 eggs or less, you really don't need to treat.
That's what I'm understanding, that you just leave them alone and don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning more and more about this all the time, but you were always told never underworm a horse.
Yep.
And, because they build immunity to it. Well, I guess over the years they've built it anyway.
Yep.
So if they don't need it,
right.
if they don't need it by the system, why do it? So perfect.
Yep.
You're learning something that I would do anyway. Here worms aren't as big an issue as they are out west or in the south because we get the freeze in the winter. But I did it twice a year, in the spring and the fall. Well, if they don't need it, why do it? Because you're just building resistance to what there is.
Absolutely. You're spot on. And so that's why we're saying, or they're saying, ParaSight Systems says, you know what, let's test, not treat. Let's find out exactly what we need to treat, if we need to treat. So 0 to 200 eggs per gram, and they've got this device, and I've watched it work. In about 8 minutes, it can go through the whole process, and can, with the help of a wonderful optical lens, it can see through various layers of things and can count accurately. The AI can count the eggs. And they've done studies, and it's like 99% accurate based on the numbers. So they're saying if you've got 200 eggs per gram to about 500 eggs per gram, that's called a moderate shedder. And the shedder, of course, is the horse and the amount of eggs that he passes in his poo. I don't know another way to say it, Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no other way to say it, and that's life, and you do it. So, I just think, I had 200 plus head. So was I wasting my money because I'm giving the wrong thing? Because you're doing 200 head, you're more or less looking for the best deal you can get.
Right. In the wormer, you mean?
In wormer.
You bet.
So you're thinking you're doing them good.
Yeah.
But I could have been not only wasting my money, but doing harm because I didn't know what worms they were carrying.
You bet.
This makes sense, and I just don't know another way to put it. And especially, it just makes sense.
Yeah. Well, this was interesting as we got the results back. So 200 to 500 eggs per gram, they're saying that's a moderate shedder. Horses that have 500 to 1,000 eggs per gram, that's a high shedder. And with a high shedder, that means you're putting a lot of eggs on the ground, and that's reinfecting the herd continuously because horses eat off the ground, right? So the concept is we want to get an idea of what our carriers are. So 5 horses, Kathleen, my daughter, did. The first one was like 28. So, and they said pass on it, don't do anything. She had 2 horses, a yearling, and she had an older horse, 16, 17-year-old. There was like 220 eggs per gram, 248 eggs per gram. I forget the exact numbers. Strawn Giles was what was identified. And they said, yep, you want to treat. And the vet said, it was still over the counter, but it was a very specific wormer that she was to use. And so we treated them. And then her other 2 horses, and these were like a weanling and not quite a yearling. And so 2 horses, and they were like in the 900s eggs per gram. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. When we must have terrible worms here. And according to what Eric at ParaSight Systems said, no, slow down. No, that doesn't mean that. What it means is they don't have the immunity system to kill the eggs, to dispose of the eggs. So they're passing the eggs. There's nothing wrong with the horse. And he said, especially in younger horses, they just haven't built up the immunity system yet. So, and you don't treat them any different, meaning you still treat, and with the specific drug. Again, this was Strong Giles, the parasite that they were carrying. He said, nope, you still do it. And the vet said, nope, you still do it by the prescription on the tube based on the weight of the horse. You don't do it more frequently. You treat them one time with it. Then the recommendation is we come back on the high shedders, and we were able to see then what was the efficacy. We learned that word during COVID, I think. What was the efficacy? How effective was that drug that we just used? Did it reduce the eggs per gram? So we're going to retest.
And you haven't retested yet.
No.
So, and I'm curious to see how it comes back.
You bet.
You bet.
Yeah. And I believe we're just going to test those in 14 days after we treat it. And I think that comes up. Kathleen's got the kits. I think that comes up here next week. She'll be able to retest.
And you're just going to retest the 2 high shedders.
We're just going to we're going to retest the whole herd because we're watching it through this case study, if you will.
So they're wanting data.
Yeah, they want data.
Okay.
And
perfect.
Good information for you and I to understand as we go through this.
Right.
And then they're recommending you really should be testing your horses twice a year. So there's a couple ways of doing that. Using the ParaSight system. The ParaSight system builds a device that is actually placed in veterinary clinics. They're placed all over the country. So first off, see if your vet has this testing. And you can pay your veterinary, take your fecal matter in, and they can do the testing right in the vet clinic. And it's about an 8-minute test.
Oh.
Yeah, so it doesn't take very long. And as opposed to the old way, which is you put it on a slide and you have somebody sit there and you try to count and isolate.
Uh-huh.
So the system, the AI comes up and says, eggs per gram, this is the exact parasite that you're working with. The other way to do that is go online, ParaSight System, and that's PARA, Sight, SIGHT, as in seeing. And we'll put this in our listener notes, and so you'll be able to go in and click and get there. And we've got a code, BTC023, to get 50% off your testing. So I'm encouraging you guys, based on what we are seeing, we always want to take good care of our animals. We always do. And this, I think, is going to give us a bit more information so we can get a little bit more precise, Sam, in what we're doing.
Yeah. You always want to take good care of your animals, but if you're eliminating the worms, you're saving money on the feed bill. It's huge. Say I did 200 broncs. My way of checking to see if it worked is I'd keep about 10 of them locked in the catch pen, and my system was go around and kick the fecal matter around to see if the worms were in there, and I did it in the spring, but it would be a frozen day in the winter that if they were there, I killed them. And most of the time I seen something, not every time, but the feed bill on 200 horses, if you're feeding the parasites, they're taking money from your pocket.
Yep.
Period.
Yep.
No other way to put it.
You bet. And parasites add stress to a horse's system. And we're already hauling them, right? We're already got them going up and down the road, tying them at trailers, and, high performance. Yep. Let's see if we can't dial in just a little bit.
Very good.
And so as we shift off Parasite, let's go back to the ProFantasy Rodeo. And this was cool, Sam. I had no idea what this was about. Go online. You can find it at ProFantasyRodeo.com. That's where we went. They've got an 800 number for any help. And it's 844-737-6336. And we got to looking through it, and really wanting to understand it a little bit more. There's some insurance options that are really cool. And so what do you do when you don't know what to do? My wife says, if you don't know where you're going, stop and ask for directions, right? So we stopped. We called the 844 number, and who picks up but Miss Gail Jones with Pro Fantasy Rodeo.
Hold it now, Doug.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Yeah.
You stopped and took directions? Good thing you're not 30 anymore, because you would know best and you wouldn't listen to her.
Well,
but
yeah.
Good job.
Well, I mean, in the old days, I might have only driven around for 4 or 5 hours before I stopped for directions. But yeah, I learned pretty quickly. I'm okay with raising my hand and say I need help.
Yeah, please help me.
Please help me. So get on the phone, and I call Miss Gail Jones, and it's 8:00 here, and I'm like, oh, and I customer service. Who am I going to talk to, right?
Amen. Thank you, Gail.
Yeah.
I was on the phone with the credit card company and never talked to anybody that morning.
Yeah.
And me being an old guy, I was frustrated. And
yeah.
Let me just talk to somebody. But no, Gail answered the phone to Doug, and away we went.
And I'm like, would you mind, Gail? Would you mind coming on the podcast? And by the way, Gail is married to Casey Jones, the 9 times NFR qualifier in the steer wrestling. So these are rodeo people, Sam.
Yeah, Gail, she said she wasn't a rodeo person. She got involved more later in life, but, 9 times the NFR, her husband, can't get much more rodeo than that.
Yeah. And exactly. And so she's in Vegas. So we're calling in, I think it's at a 3-hour time difference. So 8:00 here, 5:00 in the morning. So I'm expecting, I don't know where I'm calling, right? You just don't know these days who you're calling or where you're calling.
Lucky you didn't get Brazil or Argentina or something like that.
Absolutely. I'm figuring, so just excellent to be able to talk to Gail. I can't say enough about that. So she was actually in Vegas she is in Vegas for the National Finals Rodeo, and a couple things that came out that was so interesting. You realize this Pro Fantasy Rodeo got started
I did realize that because I donated 20 years ago.
Did you really? You played this 20 years ago?
I think I probably played the first one. I might have missed a year in there that I was busy and forgot about it.
Yeah.
But not anymore. I'm not busy, and I won't forget about it.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, folks, people say, well, why do you play? You haven't won nothing. Hey, it's entertainment. When I get up in the morning, I want to look and see how my team did.
Absolutely.
I want to pay attention to everything because of it. It brings a new perspective to it.
Yeah.
And when you get your team, before it starts, you think nobody can beat you. Look how great this is.
You bet.
If you didn't think that, you wouldn't have picked that team.
Yep.
So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And so on this phone call, she steps me through everything, Sam, and I'm like, this is so cool. I want to tell our listeners about this game, right, and about this play, for all the reasons you just said. And so I hang up, right? And I'm like taking notes and trying to write it down, and I'm like, you know what? I just had the expert on the phone.
Right.
So what do? I call back and go, would you mind stepping us through things so our listeners can hear it, so they can do it the right way? And what you're going to hear is the conversation from this. And thank you, Gail, for being so kind and giving us some tips here. Give a listen. All right, on the phone with us today is Miss Gail Jones. Now, she's with Pro Fantasy Rodeo. Gail, introduce yourself for our listeners, if you would, please.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I am Gail Jones, and my husband, Casey Jones, and I are the ones who started the Pro Fantasy Rodeo game.
And KC, for our rodeo listeners, our fans, 9 times NFR qualifier in the steer wrestling. So these folks know about the game. So step us through the history of the game. How did you guys come up with this?
Well, thank you for asking. This is actually our 20th year doing this. So it's our 20-year anniversary, and our players this year will reap some cool benefits we can talk about later. But Casey and I started this out, and I remember we were at a PBR event with a card table and black and white photos that we got from Kinko's back then, handing people entry forms and trying to get as many entries as we could. We had an office in Colorado at the time. We're out of Decatur, Texas now. But I also remember one year we were really excited about maybe our 5th year in. We were able to afford to get glossy trifold entry forms for our players. And it was back then, it was just a mail-in entry system, and you had to fill it out and mail it back. And now with everything online, we can reach so many more fans and expand the game of rodeo that we love so much.
Okay. And first off, congratulations, 20 years of doing this. That is excellent. And I also saw online when I was there that I could download a PDF and fill out my team.
Absolutely. You can do that. You can print it off. I'm still a paper kind of person. I like to see things and scratch things and make notes.
Yeah.
You can certainly just copy one off, and then you can call me and enter your team, or you can do it yourself online. It's really simple.
Yeah.
I know a lot of our players can be cautious this first time, and our system is built for that. My 80-year-old mother, we used to do it for her, and she would go through and do it with ease. So
okay, yeah. And I got to tell you, once I selected my team, it was easy. Stepped me right through it. There was a couple things that popped up that this is when I called you. Talk a little bit about the insurance. I know this is new. There's been some changes to this. There's 3 levels of insurance, Gail.
yes. So we have a platinum insurance. That's the new one this year, and that's $20. We have a premium insurance, which is $15, and a regular, which is $10. All of these insurances are designed to keep you in the game for the average. And because we pay, the first place team gets a truck and a bloomer trailer, get a Dodge Ram and a 4-horse bloomer trailer. But the insurance, what's new about it this year is that the players, our Pro Fantasy Rodeo contestants, you're in charge of your own team. So if you have a contestant that goes out of a round for any reason, if they just miss a round, that's when your insurance can come into play. But this year, you get to put it into play. With our lowest insurance, the $10, you'll have the option to go down to the next contestant.
Mm-hmm.
The premium insurance, which is the $15, gives you the option to go up a contestant. And this year, the platinum allows you to decide by way of looking at what the contestants around your player has done. You can go up or down. And so you can see if, hey, Jaco Roper, he's hot. I'm going to go up to him. He's been having a heck of a finals. Or you can say, gosh, the guy below seems like he's neck and neck. He's doing well in the average. So you get to decide that this year.
And that's you're operating with a lot more precision when you're doing that. And what I mean by that, let's say it's 9th round, and my bareback rider, whoever I've selected, opts out, he's injured out, or whatever the case may be, and maybe he's won $10,000 to that point. But if I buy that platinum, I might be able to look down a position, as you just said, and see that that rider's already won $100,000. So with perfect information at that time.
Right.
That's
you have a
incredible.
lot of information, and it's not as hard as it sounds.
Yeah.
We all know the NFR starts at 6 Pacific time. So 2-hour rodeo. You've got up until the next day before the rodeo performance starts to either call myself, Ashley, or Ryan in the office, and we will help you. If you're not real computer savvy, you've got 3 of us here that are just waiting to talk to you. We are a full-blown customer service loving company. We love it. We're attentive to it. But also, one of the biggest things about the insurance, I do want to say, your insurance is always based on how the contestants come into the NFR. So whatever you see right now, 1 through 15, the person above your rider, the person below your rider, those are always going to be your options, no matter how they move around in the average throughout the week.
That's excellent. That is very cool. I mean, again, perfect information.
And I want to thank you for that, Gail, because I need to make a phone call, as computer savvy as I am.
Yeah.
So
that's one thing I've just, in this world these days, I just think customer service is huge. honestly, it's a little bit selfish of me as well. I really enjoy talking to our players. A lot of people out there have my personal cell phone number. And again, going back to the early days, we only got to deal with mail, and then people started to call and we would do it online and things like that. But, it's going by the wayside getting to talk to the customers. So I really enjoy it because I talk to, fathers who have had sons at the NFR, or, I get to talk to you, and whereas I wouldn't normally.
And I will take exception to the customer service is huge. There is no customer service in our world anymore, and thank you for being there.
Absolutely.
I've been on the phone with a credit card for about an hour because I couldn't talk to a person. So I appreciate it.
No, I agree. And I think our industry is one of the very few industries that really still appreciates customer service and doesn't want to bypass it. And it's just really important to me personally, and it's important to Casey as well. And it's just, we do have fans like yourself, Sam, that have been with us from the get-go. And you've seen us through the black and white copies to the glossy trifold. And, now I've got customers that it's so sad. They're people I used to talk to, but they've learned how to text, or but I don't, some still call me. Some still we look forward to speaking to each other every year and entering teams.
Well, thank you for that. And I'll attest to it. I called, I think it was 9 o'clock here Eastern time, which means at 6 o'clock in the morning in Vegas, she picks up.
You should have brought her coffee, Doug.
I guess
What's
I
going
should
on?
have.
Listen.
I should have done better. I should have.
Casey already had coffee and orange juice my way. He had to get this community up here revving to go.
Perfect.
We're ready for a big day. We've got a lot of players. It's our 20th year anniversary. The moment you enter a Pro Fantasy Rodeo team, you will get an email, and you'll get an email with all kinds of benefits. You'll get a $20 gift card code to shop at NRS. You'll get a 15% discount off Purina, 20% off Resorts World, 20% off of Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, $20 off our Blue Sky Rodeo Vegas gorgeous leather jacket this year. So there's so many benefits. There's Cactus Saddlery, Cactus Ropes, Cowboys and Indians, Cinch, tire boots. So
entry fees for my son Colton in the steer wrestling. That's what I'm going for.
There you go. Well, and we have a prize package for that. I'm sure you saw that.
We both have bought it.
Well, that is how Jesse Brown, who's number 2, I believe, in the steer wrestling coming in this year. Yes. Mm-hmm. He was the recipient of the rodeo for free a few years ago, the first year he made the NFR.
Wow.
And
Fantastic.
there was a man who put his name in to give so it's a $10,000 towards your rodeo fees and $5 gift card for fuel. And he also won the truck, the gentleman that did that for him. And he let Jesse drive the truck that year as well. So Jesse's a product. We had a tiny play in his success getting to the NFR. So we're excited about that.
Yes, and another friend of mine actually won the truck from Ontario one year, steer wrestler.
Okay.
Matt Musa.
Okay.
Yes, Matt. Mm-hmm. Yes, that was exciting.
We are all connected here, Gail.
We are, and and that's what's fun about it, honestly. And Casey and I grew up in California near San Francisco, and I rodeoed when I was rodeoing when I met Casey, but I certainly didn't get to grow up on a ranch. And I just enjoy the community, and this is another way to expand our community. Absolutely. And allow people to get involved in a way that maybe they wouldn't. And I didn't know Bobby Griswold very well, but one year he was on one of my brother's teams or something, and I was like, Bobby, gosh, what can I do to help you have a better week? And I remember we sent him over at Treasure Island. We were staying there. That was our first year at Rodeo Vegas, and we sent him. I said, hey, I'll just send you breakfast to your room. You just get some rest. And that night, I think he placed 3rd or 2nd. So it was just and the contestants, when you speak to them, they've got so many fun stories about fans coming up and saying, hey, I've got you on my team. And it's fun for them as well to know that people are rooting for them for more than one reason.
And earlier today when I told Doug why I did it, I said it brings more excitement to it. It makes it better. You want to see who did what and why. And I said it's kind of like the teams have done with the PBR. When you go to the team events, now they have somebody to cheer for.
Yes.
And so how do we just step through the steps here? I know there's a $550,000 salary cap. right?
Yes.
You pick your players. You got to stay under that 550. And
Yes.
then you also pick a tiebreaker team, which can be the same or can be a little bit different, right? You can still have some of the same contestants if you'd like.
Yes.
And,
That's completely up to you. There's no salary cap attached to the tiebreaker team. And the 550,000, it sounds like a lot of money, but you'll be shocked at how quickly it goes.
It goes very, very quickly. It does.
Each contestant is attached a salary based on how they come into the NFR. So Keenan Hayes in the bareback is 150,000, and then Richie Champion, that's a little gift to the bareback fans of the world. Richie Champion comes in at $10,000.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your fantasy dollars, and it's $99.95 to play. So what I like to tell people, it's 10 rounds, and you don't have to do anything once you buy your team. You don't have to get in and trade players. It's very simple. And once you pay, it's like $9.95 a day to go at 2,000, which is what we pay each day. We pay each round, and we pay 100 in the average. So it's awfully fun. It is really hard to stay under the 550 salary cap. Although I will say this year, I have been seeing some teams get built that are so astounding. So there is a lot of talent. There always is. But there are very few people coming into this NFR that have injuries or, things. I saw Sage Kinsey last night, and I think he's in better shape than his first NFR, and he's ready to go. So
He looked outstanding at the PBR this weekend.
Agreed.
Rode fantastic. The one he bucked off of was just hard to ride.
And I just think it's going to be so, I honestly don't say this every year, but I do believe this year it's so exciting to look at the contestants, and it's going to be such a showcase to the world what this industry is about, between the equine athletes, the stock contractor and their athletes, and our actual contestants.
You bet. And Sam's got the magazine here, so that's how we sat down and went through everything. And you also have to pick then your total winnings for a team. You type in how much you think that's going to be, that your team's going to take, and then how do you win the million, Gail?
Okay, so I'm happy you asked. That's new as well. This is very exciting, and it is possible. Everyone says, well, like winning the lottery. Well, we do hear about lottery winners.
Yeah.
So every person on your team has to win the average. Every person. So that actually means when you're picking your team ropers, you want to keep your team ropers together if you're wanting to try and make the $1 million team.
Okay. Good to know. We didn't know that, did we, Sam? Yeah, good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Now I got to get another team. What the heck?
There you go. I was always a person that liked to split my team ropers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get to play, but I play anyway, like just without money.
Right.
And so I was always the one that liked to split because it gave me another team to root for.
Yeah.
But if you're headed for that $1 million, that's the key right there.
Okay.
And on our website, we do have a list of the team roping pairs.
Yes, we saw that. Yeah, we did see that. Excellent.
Okay, you just cost me more money, Gail. See?
There you go. Well, the other thing about the tiebreaker team earnings, that's a total of what you believe your team is going to make over the course of 10 days. So as with their average earnings, so I tell people it usually starts around 900,000.
Okay, that's kind of the floor of where you think a 10 that the team should come in.
Yes,
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And the magazine, if people haven't received a magazine, we do have a digital copy online, and you can read about all your contestants. It'll help you choose their stats. There's how many times they've been to the NFR. There's a lot of information there that can help you if you're on the fence about who to pick.
I tell you, that magazine was invaluable when we went through it. Absolutely.
I'm so glad.
Great information.
There's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears with that magazine. We're pretty proud of it this year.
I'll bet. And you guys do all the work. I mean, you're putting all this together.
Yes. Myself, Casey, Ashley Baller, and we have a person named Ryan McLean who helps us on the phones.
Okay.
He's also got a great radio voice.
Okay, perfect.
So yeah, he's great. He's been with us for a long time, and
perfect. Is there a limit to how many games I can play?
No, you can play as many as you want. We have
Okay.
one person that he entered 17 teams this year.
Really? Wow.
He has a lot of favorites. He's a big racehorse guy,
Hmm.
and this is just so much fun for him. And he's got a lot of favorites.
Okay.
He's from the Northwest, so he is in it. He
Okay.
is in it.
All right. Well, our team is, and Sam's got his own team, but our team, Sam and my team, BTC Podcast is the name of our team for our listeners. So follow along, take a look. We highly encourage you to go check out ProFantasyRodeo.com. If you need any help, here's the number again, 844-737-6336. What haven't I asked you about, Gail? What else is there?
Well, I think the biggest thing is when our entries close.
Okay.
And that's tomorrow. That's Thursday. The rodeo starts at 5:45, but they do the grand entry for about 15 minutes. So we will stop taking entries at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And that is when the big game shuts down. Now, after that, starting Friday, we do have a daily game that's awfully fun.
Okay.
It's cheap to play. It's $14.95, and you can kind of see who's hot, who's not, and pick your daily team from there.
Okay.
And we play for 9 nights, you can pick a daily team.
I love it. I love it. So, Sam,
Yeah.
we're going to be doing this.
So if I skip lunch, I can buy for the 10 days, I can buy the team.
Right.
Listen, if you just
dinner,
skip coffee
Yeah.
in the morning anymore, you can darn near afford the
That's
team
true.
by Saturday.
I
That's
guess
true.
you're right. But if I skip dinner, I
Yeah.
can do the daily one, and I'll be
There you
thinner
go.
and
Yeah.
better,
Yeah.
and
And
we'll
we
have
both,
more fun.
We both could skip both those things, couldn't we?
But
And be okay. Yeah.
no, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
The- And for the people that don't know, it does add such enjoyment to watch the NFR. It gets you excited. You got a vested interest, let's
You
say.
bet. You bet.
And I want you to know, Gail, Doug and I beat Vegas pretty good when the PBR finals was
That's
out
right.
there.
That's right.
So,
We
I
did.
like it.
Yeah, we
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
we did very
Playing
well.
on house money. That's my favorite.
All right. So there's 2 ways to get entered. ProFantasyRodeo.com. I promise you, step through it. It's easy. It's intuitive. You can find your way through. And if you need help, as I did this morning, please dial 844-737-6336, and they will help you step through. They'll do your whole team with you if that's what you would like to get you entered.
Absolutely.
All right. Gail, this has been a pleasure. Thank you for coming on BTC.
It's so nice to meet both of you. I really appreciate you having us on, and I really appreciate you playing. Good luck.
All right.
Thank you, Miss Gail. God bless you and have a great day.
Oh, thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye. So, Sam, based on what Gail talked about, which I enjoyed the conversation so much, that was neat.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of fun. So I got a better understanding of the insurance, and as she said, brand new, right? The concepts are brand new. I mean, they had some last year, but now you can toggle on, toggle off. There's no automatic to it. And the way I'm understanding, and the way we have set up our team, because we have now set up our team, there's a platinum, there's a premium, there's the regular insurance. We bought the platinum, right?
Yes, and looking at it, if you're in the event, the platinum insurance, and let me tell you, folks, I'm not one to buy extra insurance when I check out. They say, "Oh, you want to buy this insurance?"
Yeah.
Hell no, I bought it because I think it's going to work and I'm going to use it. I'm not going to give you my money.
Yep.
But as this works, where you can go above or beyond or below, and can stay where you're at if you want to, why not do it? Spend the extra $10 and do it that way. So,
Absolutely, absolutely. No, it makes complete sense, and it gives you some options. And what's crazy, and we talked about this on the phone, is it can be the 9th round. Our competitor, our lady gets hurt, or a horse gets hurt, and they can't perform. We have options now, and we don't have to give up, but we can choose if we'd like and move up one position. And as she said, the standings that you can move up and down on were the standings that they came in at. Not, they might have moved from 10th place. Somebody might have come in 10th and is now sitting in 2nd place in the world standings. Well, if they came in 10th, you had that option at 10th, and maybe you had the number 9 player in that particular event, and they got injured out. 9th round, you can opt now to the one below it when the game or when the NFL started, or NFR started.
And you don't know who's going to be better.
Yeah.
Don't clue until it's going on.
Absolutely.
One thing I do want to correct you on, Doug, is if the horse gets hurt like a barrel racer,
Yeah.
they're not out.
They're not out.
Automatically stay in
Okay.
because they'll use a backup horse or something like that.
All right.
Now, if the barrel racer herself gets hurt,
There you go.
then
Okay.
she's out.
Okay.
So when you said horse, that doesn't apply to this. So.
Okay, good catch, absolutely. So just some very, very basics here. $550,000 salary cap, and the money goes faster than you think. You've got, the common sense is take number 1 through all of it, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's $150,000 per position for every one of them. So we
Even my math doesn't add up there.
No. Well, the first one we did, I think it was by the end of the third event, we were out of money. Okay. So it really, you got to study and you got to think. And you know what's interesting is you study and you think and you look at these competitors, you're now going, oh, I could pick this one or I could pick that one. And tell me that you're not going to be rooting or following both those people that you might have had to cipher through.
Oh, exactly, because you want to win. I mean, that puts you with, like I always say, skin in the game.
Skin in the game.
Skin in the game. You know, when
yeah.
the boys were growing up, and if they, at my rodeos, even at my rodeos,
Yeah.
everything was paid for,
Yeah.
except for their entry fee.
Okay.
Okay.
Really?
You're going to pay for that yourself. You're going to have skin in the game.
Skin in the game. I like that.
Yeah. Maybe you'll try a little harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You go off somewhere else, I'll help you all I can, but you're going to do something to have skin in the game. And this gives you skin in the game, so
I love
makes it exciting.
It does. And then the next step, or one of the next steps, is to come up with a tiebreaker team. And this isn't a salary cap team. This can be any team you want to be, any combination. If you say, I want number 1s across the board and all the events, go for it, right? However, we did spend some time thinking about, well, who would be our tiebreaker team? Yeah. And money was part of it, but really where the experience was and who the players was had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, the year I did so well at this game, and one year I did very well, but didn't win the truck, didn't do great, but I did very well.
Yeah.
My tiebreaker team, where you could go and pick anybody you wanted, was terrible.
Was it really?
It was terrible. The team I picked with the $550,000 was way better than the tiebreaker.
Isn't that something?
So I wouldn't have won any tie, let me tell you.
Okay. Then they also want you to put in the total winnings for the team.
Correct.
What you think all of your team players are going to be. They recommend at least $900,000 is the number they kind of set as a starting point.
Yeah, and when I first heard we had to do this when I first played the game, I thought, how the heck would I know that?
Yeah.
No idea.
Yeah.
So through the years, I'd go back and look at what the other team that won it put down.
Okay.
And that gave me an idea. Well, if you're going to be winning, it's got to be close to that amount.
Yep.
So we looked at that number, and that was 1.2 million something.
Yep.
So we made our team close to 1.3, and
Yep. Yep.
Other than that, it doesn't matter, because if you're not up around that number, you're not going to win.
You bet.
So little hint to the people out there that the numbers got to be up there pretty good, or it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And the one thing Gail said, I guess she said it earlier, was if you want to go for the million.
Yeah. Now this is crazy. Go ahead.
Yeah, if you want to go for the million, something we didn't think of.
Yeah.
After I did my team, now we might have to do another one, seeing we have another day.
Yeah.
I'm sure we have another day.
Yeah.
That you want to pick the same header and healer.
On the same team.
On the same team, so
that
they, I say you want to pick the same header here. Let me explain that a little bit.
Yeah.
The team roping contest has two contestants
Yep.
going for the money. One ropes the horns, the other come in, ropes the feet. So if you're going to win the $1 million,
Yeah.
you have to have the same paired up contestants.
Yes. Yes.
Which would be the same team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
yeah.
that way, she explained that to me. I said, boy, did I miss that one.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, yeah, so we'll take a look at that. We might still be able to alter our team, Sam.
Well,
You know, it might reposition just a little bit. But we're going to step you through our team here in just a little bit and kind of a bit of our thinking.
For $120, I might just make another team.
You think another team?
Okay. What the heck?
No, I'm down with that. I just really like our team, Sam.
Yeah, well,
tied
that's
to
why
our
I don't
team.
want to alter it.
Okay.
And,
okay.
You know, the bet is
Yeah.
I'm going to win and you're going to lose, Doug. Good luck with that.
Oh, we got to figure out what that bet is, what the prize is, and then there are other games. There's like prize challenges. You got to check that out. You've got one of the prizes is the scholarship, more or less. What was it for entry fees or travel money?
Yeah. One of the prizes, if you pick this extra, it's a $10 extra fee. That you win $10,000 towards your entry fees.
Yep.
And she said that the steer wrestler Brown, got that.
Yeah.
And the guy gave that to him, and that put him on the way, and he's second in the world this year.
You bet.
And
You bet.
Colton, you ought to be wishing me good luck, buddy.
Yep.
'Cause,
Yep.
I'm sure not going to go spend
$10,000.
$10,000 in entry fees, but that might be a month and a half for you.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
good luck. Wish me good luck, Colton.
There you go. There you go. And then there's the ability to give some money to charity.
Yeah.
Right. Some great causes. A lot of folks on there and their choices. So we of course donated some money there. And we just want to thank Gail Jones. I mean, good golly, ProFantasyRodeo.com. Thank you, Gail, for answering the phone. And she told us if you struggle with getting set up on the system, call the number 844-737-6336. They will help you through it. They will help you build it.
Yes. Thank you, Gail. It was nice to talk to somebody on the phone about our questions, because it doesn't happen much in this day and age. And Doug and I talked afterwards, and it's so nice to see somebody that struggled through what they're doing and made something of their hard work paid off in the end.
You bet.
Don't get in the rodeo business, because I don't know if your hard work pays off in the end. But you meet a bunch of wonderful people.
You bet.
And I think we met one yesterday.
Oh, my goodness. What a joy to speak with. Just so fun. So let's go through our team. And it's called BTC Podcast is the name of our team. And Sam and I sat down. We have the Pro Fantasy Rodeo magazine. He's already been getting it. That's a cool thing, too. And it steps you through every competitor in each event. So in the bareback bronc riding, we chose Jess Pope. And comes in, I think, 10th, costs $60,000. What was our thinking there? Do you remember, Sam, on Jess?
Well, Jess, yeah. I mean, he's won the last 3 NFRs.
Right.
And usually comes in the top 3 spots. And due to injury and other things, he's 10th this year. So a bargain. Jess was riding bareback horses when Dalen was riding bareback horses. And you see this talent back then at the high school finals and like that.
Okay.
I mean, to win the last 3 NFRs, what a better buy in 10th spot.
Absolutely. So Jess Pope is our bareback bronc rider, so we'll be cheering for him right after the grand entry, of course. Will Loomis in the steer wrestling.
Yes. In my team, I didn't pick Will Loomis.
Yeah.
I picked the same person that I've picked for years that has done outstanding for me.
Yeah.
But I just had a feeling this is Will Loomis's turn.
You bet.
I know his father or his uncle, Bob Loomis, rodeoed when I did.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it is, but
Yeah.
It's just he's been so close. It's just like for some reason I thought it's his turn. Doug.
It's his turn.
Let's drop down, save a little money, and I could be wrong.
Yep.
Good luck, Will.
Yep. Yep. And of our salary cap, of our 550, he cost us 120.
Right.
Okay. So but we're excited about him. We think that's going to work great. Now, in our team roping, we have to pick a header and a healer, right? And sentimental reasons and other reasons, Luke Brown as our header.
Yeah, more because I've known Luke for a long, long time. You know, not super well, but he's from the East Coast, the Carolinas, and know him and know what kind of hand he is. Numerous NFR qualifications. Runner-up, I believe, for the world 3 times. I always thought he would have had the gold buckle on, but he hasn't yet. I would never count him out.
Yep.
So looking at that, you know, because you know him and he is so talented. He is such a bargain at where he sits in the standings.
$10,000.
$10,000 bargain is what I say. You know,
absolutely.
And if he gets on a roll, he's as good as anybody out there.
You bet. You bet. Now, our healer and our header in this and our pairings here are not going to be roping together. So this is going to knock us out. As you said earlier, it's going to knock us out of the $1 million. I don't care. Okay. We're going to stay with this for right now. Cole Curry. He cost us $30,000. He is going to be the healer that we're going to be looking at. So now think of this. While you would typically go in and you would be cheering for a team, we're actually going to be cheering for 2 teams right now. You realize that in the team roping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realize that.
So hopefully our teams place first and second. And we don't care, second and first. We don't care.
No.
Right? But all the way through 10 rounds would be great.
Yeah.
That would be fun.
And when I pick my team roping's usually what I come back to last because I really don't. I know from watching them on TV, but I don't know these guys, and they're all so multi-talented. And last year, when I did the game, I picked the same team, and didn't really know them or anything of them. I just read in the magazine what it says and make my choice. But last year, my team won the average running away, and didn't have a clue.
Okay.
But we just don't have a clue.
Right.
Cole Curry is, but hey, good luck.
Absolutely. We're going to be rooting for you.
Yeah.
I love that. And then, classic event of rodeo, we're talking saddle bronc riding. Go ahead, Sam. Who'd you pick?
Well, we picked Stetson Wright. We did.
And we did.
And my team, I didn't pick him, but he's very difficult to bet against.
Oh, man.
Not only rides so good, he has the grit. And, when Dalen was riding, you knew he had the try of a winner.
You bet.
And rides fantastic. Is there other guys that ride just as good? Yes, sir.
Yep.
And we just, you don't bet against them.
Nope. That's right.
There you go.
And he's our most expensive player at $150,000.
Right.
Okay. So of your 550, we've got $150,000 with him. Calf roping. Again, I'm going to say sentimental favor for me, and I'm not discounting talent here, but Tough Cooper coming in at 15th, $10,000. Come on, Sam.
Yeah. He's like Jess Pope, a bargain.
You bet.
A bargain.
You bet.
That was there was a few guys we were arguing between.
Yeah.
But at that money, he's been there. He's done it. Won the world a couple times, and
Yep.
At 10,000, how do you not take him?
How do you not take him? And the Cowgirl Barrel Racing. This one was a little more challenging for us. We as we sorted through all the competitors, so much talent, and that's what makes this so interesting, Sam. And it's talent and it's ranking. So in our case, where we chose Lisa Lockhart, right, comes in, I believe, in the fifth position, $110,000. We looked at here. We picked her up. So Lisa Lockhart is who's on our team.
In the barrel racing, when I look at it, it's a roll of the dice.
Yeah.
Okay, Haley Kinsel is the bargain of the thing.
Yeah.
But been cheering for Lisa and want her to win a world. And I said, Doug, you got the Matthews girl. It's right there. That's so consistent, and these top 5 girls, top 15 girls who,
Yep.
It's a roll of dice. One hits a barrel, and
Yep.
some are going to do it. The Matthews girl's horse is so solid. I've never seen it make bad runs.
Right.
It might not win
Right.
every time, but boy,
Right.
it's going to be in there for the average.
Right.
But we discussed it and said, well, we'd like Lisa to win the world, so let's cheer for somebody we want to see win the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. So it's exactly right. And we looked at Brittany Posey. We looked at, as you said, Kinsel, Haley Ride's sister, right? Sentimental horse for us. So, but we said, nope, let's go with Lisa.
That name,
Yeah.
I think is what everybody copied us.
You think so?
I think, our horse named
We
Sister
had
that I sold Doug years ago.
Yeah, that Kathleen. Yeah, and Kathleen made famous, quite frankly. Yeah. So we're sticking with Lisa, and we're cheering Lisa. And you know what? We're going to be cheering Brittany, and we're going to be cheering Haley, and we're going to be cheering all these folks.
Don't count on it.
You don't think so?
I'm going to cheer on the one I want to win.
Okay. You're not going to boo, are you?
I won't boo.
Okay,
please. If
please.
you made it to that level, I'm going to clap, but I'm not going to cheer.
Golf clap.
Congratulations.
A golf clap. Yeah. And then finally, bull riding. And this for us was a no-brainer.
Yeah. On paper. It was not a no-brainer. We have somebody in there that's very close to us.
Yes. Jeff Askey.
Jeff Askey.
Absolutely.
And who bets against Jeff Askey?
Yeah.
He's as smart of a bull rider as there out.
Absolutely.
Uses his head, doesn't make mistakes, does everything good.
Yeah.
But we're following the PBR so closely in what we do.
Yeah.
Sage Kenzie, he's a bargain at where he's at, and he rode so good last week. So good. I thought he should have won the event if he'd have got out on his one bull.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to critique Sage or whatever, but this is a different thing. When you have them good ones, you're not don't get them perfect, because the next one, you got a heck of a pick in the draft.
Yeah.
It might not be perfect, but I wasn't there to see how bad he was squatting on the chute or whatever.
Yeah.
But when we were watching, I said, "Oh no,
Stick
get out
with
of
it.
there! Get
Stick
out
with
of
it."
there! You
Yeah.
liked him for a reason.
You bet.
You don't
You
know
bet.
what you're getting next."
You
So
bet.
he rode phenomenal his first two.
Yes.
Phenomenal, and
Yep.
he rode a couple weeks before. He rode all 3 of them.
Yep.
At that level, those bulls are exactly what he's going to get on this week. And he's going to be, like we talked, he's going to be more ready than anybody, because he's getting on practice bulls for the NFR that are going to be the type at the NFR.
At the PBR, you mean? He's
Correct.
getting on these practice bulls
At the PBR.
At the PBR.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you just don't go home and get on practice bulls like those.
Yeah.
You don't do it.
Yeah. And so for all those reasons, and he's running for number 7 championship, right? This will be his 7th.
No, 8.
This will be his 8th. He's
Yeah.
already got 7.
Correct.
Okay. Thank goodness we have that magazine we can go back and get all of our stats on. But he comes in 10th place. And to your point, I think he's healthy. He looked strong, looked like he was enjoying himself, and it just felt real neat.
That was the key. You said he looked like he was enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Whether he's healthy or not, he was smiling and laughing
You bet.
and enjoying the moment.
Yep.
And it's going to carry over to there.
Yep.
And he's going to be ready to go. Now, this is what I want to see
Yeah.
with Sage at the NFR.
Yeah.
I want to see him get on Dalen's old bull, Bucking Bull of the Year, Bayou Bengal.
Okay.
I think will fit him to a T.
Really?
I
Okay.
think you're going to be looking in the mid-90s. He turns back to the right into Sage's wheelhouse.
Okay.
And, he's going to make Sage earn it. But,
Yeah.
boy, if that matchup's there, it'll be very interesting.
So along those lines, and back to the ProFantasyRodeo.com, they have daily picks. Would this be an opportunity? We see that. Can we go make that daily? We got to learn more about the daily picks.
Exactly. We got to call her and find out some things because, if you see the draw and that's up, hey, I'm all over it. 'Cause
Absolutely.
it's going to be a lot of points.
Yep.
I think.
Yep.
A lot of points.
So to wrap up, we've got 550. We have spent every penny of our salary cap. Right?
Correct.
$550,000 we have spent. We bought the $20 platinum insurance, and when you look at it and step through the logic, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? $10 you can pick the next lower. You opt to the next lower. $15 you can opt to the next higher if your person gets hurt or drops out, and for $20 you can go up or down. Got it. It's a no-brainer. And as she said, they've toggled it this year. So if it's 9th round and our player's already won $150,000 and he sets out or she sets out for the 10th round, we don't have to do anything. We can leave it right.
And you can keep
We
that
can
person.
keep that person. And they said last year that didn't work that way. If you had insurance, it automatically
Bounced. Right.
So anyway, very, very cool where this is. Gail Jones, thank you for the conversation. ProFantasyRodeo.com. And let me give you that number again, 844-737-6336. Sam, I'm excited for hopefully tomorrow night. We're going to open up at the NFR. History today with them pushing it.
Yeah. That's the only sad part about it is we got to wait another day.
Got to wait another day.
Going to have to wait 11 days to collect our winnings instead of 10.
Right. That's right. All right. We hope you enjoy our conversation about this game. It's called the 2023 NFR game. So you want to check it out. And to make your listening easier, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any major podcast streaming platform. We are there. Just search for Beyond the Chutes and follow us. And we'd like to say thank you again to ParaSight Systems for their support with our podcast. You can find them at ParasightSystems.com. Remember, we've got the coupon BTC023 for 50% off your test kits. This is Beyond the Chutes.
Sam Swearingen.
Until next time, this is Doug Simcox. Enjoy your day.